Ngowi TV, informed economists and business perspective.
Your Excellency, Ambassador Sarah Cook, British High Commissioner to Tanzania, representatives from embassies, former and current members of parliament present, government officials, leaders of non-governmental organizations, Azakis, members of the press, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. In the first place, I would just want to express my appreciation for your accepting our invitation for the launch of this book, WAJIBIKAJI, ndani ya kalamu isiyokuwa na wino. This morning I was on Clouds FM in regard to this event. And the people asked, why that title, WAJIBIKAJI ndani ya kalamu isiyokuwa na wino? And I said, really, the thing which prompted me to start Wajibu, the thing which also prompted me to write this book, some frustrations which I experienced in my 80 years as CAG. And the frustrations arose from the fact that you, as CAG, who has been mandated by the Constitution to audit and advise, you come up with the advices which you believe strongly in yourself that these advices, if implemented, they would greatly help in improving accountability. But then you don't see no action. A good example of that, Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, was for 80 years, I kept on arguing the government that the government was making big losses in paying for ghost workers. Believe me, nothing much was done. But I'm so grateful that the 51st government and President Dr. John Pombe Magufuli decided to act on it. And what is the outcome? We are told that every month the government is saving not less than 19.2 billion Tanzania shillings. You see, imagine if the government had acted on this during those years, how much savings would have been made by the government. This is one example. The other example, I argued strongly that members of parliament being appointed into boards of directors of public institutions brings in a serious conflict of interest. Mzee Cheyo is a witness. And it went so much so that people said, that is Mr. Utouh's song. What did it mean? It meant that it was me. Believe me, I did not see an institution, I did not see a professional organization taking it up and making it an issue. And then I said, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with us, Tanzanians? We cannot, ladies and gentlemen, we cannot leave the issue of accountability to the National Audit Office or to the Parliamentary Oversight Committees. Accountability, for it to be effective and be useful, it has to be enshrined in everybody. Everybody has a role on accountability. It is only our responsibility. If you go by the vision of Wajibu, it says, properly managed public resources benefits all. Everybody will benefit. And therefore, we should see it that way. During the brief audience I had at the Clouds, somebody asked a question. Mr. Utouh, are you broke that you have written a book to make some money? And I answered him, I said, my God, Tanzanians who have no culture of reading, you can never make money by writing books in Tanzania. You can never make money by writing books in Tanzania. In actual fact, the amount of time and energy put in the book, I do not expect I will be even able to recover whatever has gone to the book. But the purpose really is to educate. The purpose is educate, educate, educate. And the more people read the book, I believe, they will come to understand better on the whole concept of accountability. In the book, there is the last chapter, chapter 11. I have made recommendations. Those are my personal recommendations as ex-CAG and as Executive Director of WAJIBU on what should be done to further enhance accountability in our country. Fortunately, some of the recommendations I have made, the current government has already acted on them. Believe me, one of my very serious recommendations was for the government to decisively decide on where the capital should be. Should it be in Dar es Salaam or should it be in Dodoma? And I'm happy, we are all happy, that eventually the fifth phase government has decided that the capital is Dodoma. And why did I talk of that? The way things were before that decision, it was a confusion. And it was subjecting the government into spending unnecessary money of per diems and travel costs, people shuttling from Dar es Salaam to Dodoma and vice versa. So, the whole essence of this book, therefore, is for it to be an educational thing. And I hope that it's going to be a book to be read. If you look at the memats of WAJIBU, among other things, it has a responsibility of coming up with the relevant publications. And this is the beginning. We hope to see other publications rolling out as WAJIBU matures. So, ladies and gentlemen, as in the book, there is an appendix, an attachment to the book after chapter 11. This is a recording of an interview I did specifically with the Honorable Mheshimiwa Cheo, Mheshimiwa Zito Kabwe, and unfortunately the late Deo Filikunjombe. I did this interview with these people because they are the people I work the closest to in their capacities as chairs and deputy chair of the parliamentary oversight committees of PSC and LAC. And in there, you will see a number of things have happened through the transformation of the National Audit Office, but there are still very many other things unresolved. We still, as Tanzanians, I think, we still need to know how was pride converted from being a public institution to becoming a private thing. We need to know these things. And you'll find that in the book I have written. You will see there is one chapter, I think is chapter 4, chapter 5. Meno yanaposagana bila sababu maalum. you grind your teeth for no apparent good reason. The chapter is referring to the situation whereby Parliament, in actual fact, got into conflict with the executive on an issue which was not correct and right. The three pillars of government: executive, parliament, judiciary. These are supposed to respect each other and be independent of each other. And it's not correct for one pillar to infringe on the rights of the other. In the book, you'll find that I have talked of the role of development partners, really. The role of development partners in transforming the National Audit Office. And I said, I hope reading through that book, it can be a case study for other development projects. The National Audit Office was able to get to where it was because of the assistance we received from development partners. In the 8 years period I stayed at the National Audit Office, we developed. We did not have a performance audit, value for money, but believe me, after 80 years, we were able to develop that, and they were able to come up with the good quality reports of international standard, to the extent that as we are talking today, that office has won 3 major competitions on that area. It is through the transformation that Tanzania, being a poor country, we were able to sail through and be nominated to participate in the audit of the United Nations, the exercise which has come to an end on the 30th of June this year. It is because of the transformation, success of that transformation, that the National Audit Office was able to chair. I chaired the Afro-SAI Working Group on Environmental Audit for 6 years. I was able to chair Afro-SAI for 3 years. It was because of those transformations which resulted into that.